Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome in. You came in on a pretty cool one, or cold one, if you prefer. Because today we're going to head into the Beercade. No, you didn't hear that wrong, we're actually talking about an arcade game today, but before I get too deep into my drink, let me explain a little bit about this series. This is the Rare Game Experiences series. This is where I cover the rare, the odd, and the unusual game experiences, be they in the arcade, PC, or console. And today, like many a week, we're going to go into the arcade. Kinda. You see, this one is an arcade game, but not any arcade game, because this one was as much a marketing device as it was, well, a fighting game. So if you have a moment, grab a drink or a beer and a snack, and sit back as we talk about Beercade, the last Barfighter. Now, before we get too deep into the game itself, let's talk about a company known as McKinney. This is an agency focused around the marketing of people and companies. One of the interesting things about them was their 10% program, or rather I should say is. They're still around. This is a program that they set up to encourage their employees to spend, well, 10% of their time working on new applications of creativity and technology unrelated to any of their current businesses. One of these was designed to appeal to the lovers of beer, and was sold to a company called Big Hoss Brewing Company. The idea was simple: combine the love of the arcade and fighting games with the delicious, if more mundane, activity of sampling beer. I know some of you love just sampling beer and that's enough for you, but in this case, they wanted to work with Big Hoss Beer to do something more original. To do this, McKinney worked up a game based off an old Flash game called The Last Barfighter, which sadly, I wasn't really able to find much footage on that game in its normal Flash format. However, how did all this work? What did this look like, and how did it play? Well, these are all good questions, and ones of which we should look at. So let's take a closer look at the cabinet itself and puzzle together what came from the footage I was able to find on this particular game. Now, looking at this cabinet, it looks like it's a standard stand-up cabinet, but one of the things that stands out is the fact that there's no coin slot. Instead, there's a set of drip trays. Yeah, in order to start the game, you actually have to put your cup in the drip tray, and then basically you're taken to your character select screen. Here you have a choice of High Roller, which looks like a ye old fisticuff styled boxer, Hell's Bell, which looks like a fiery demoness in the English Renaissance dress, Angry Angel, which honestly is kind of funny because it looks like a Hell's Angels biker with a small angel wings and a halo, Blanco Diablo, a pale devil-looking man with a bow tie, and last but not least, Bad Penny, a stylized 1970s girl with full-on afro. Each one of these had a beer named after them at the time of the release of the cabinet, around 2013 in fact. To control them, you would use a pretty simple interface consisting of an arcade stick and two buttons. As you'd suspect, you have your basic moves and some special moves that you can execute, and the winner gets not only bragging rights, but a pour from the keg stored in the cabinet itself. I think the only thing that disappoints me about this particular cabinet and setup is from what I could find, it could only connect to one keg. And given every one of these characters had a beer named after them, it would have been way cooler in my mind had you locked in your beer related to the character you chose. Now that would have been the ultimate in beer sampling in my opinion. However, what do you guys think of this one? Had any of you ever actually heard of this cabinet before? Have you heard of anything like it? Heck, did any of you get a chance to play it when it launched for Big Hoss's St. Patrick's Day event back in 2013 like I mentioned before? Heck, do you know any place that actually has one now? Let me know in the comments. While you're there, if you don't mind, please leave this video a like. And if you see some more of my stuff on my channel that you like, consider following the channel. It actually really does help me out a ton. Until we meet again though, thank you so much for making it this far into the video and spending part of your day with me. And until we meet again, happy gaming.